Hey everybody, we've got a Dell to look at today. It is a 1409X. It was actually sent in by a viewer who was super close to getting it fixed. The color wheel was bad on the original one. This is the original color wheel. The wire actually broke off the back, and I might do a video on reattaching that wire, resoldering it there. But they replaced the color wheel, and in process of replacing the color wheel, they also replaced the DMD. There's the DMD for this model, a 1076-6318W. This is a common failure DMD. They get the little specks. We can probably see it on here. Oh yeah. So this was probably sitting for a long time with whatever that is displayed. A lot of times people use these for digital signage and that'll happen, but all those are stuck pixels, little mirrors that didn't flip back. Someday I'd love to tear one of these apart if I get a good enough microscope. Let's put that off to the side. I already partially disassembled it. I'll go over a few things. The lens cap pops off. Just pull forward. That little thingy attaches to the focus. The zoom is right here. Then there are 5 screws in the bottom. And then you can take off this side. Obviously that has to come off first or that won't come up. Then the side with the keyboard. It snaps in. But I'd already unsnapped it. And I also already pulled the lamp out. This looks like it's the original lamp. It's a Philips. You can see it there. It's a 200 160 1.0. Looks like an E20.6 or E20.8. Can't really tell. But the problem it's here for now is while they were repairing it, there was an issue with the power where there is none. I'll show you. So let's plug it in. I have the lamp door on even though the lamp is removed. So we should have low voltage. We should have standby here, and we don't. So I brought my meter over. I have to get new probes. I hate these probes. I thought they were going to be better, but they're too short. My fluke probes actually broke. The wire broke inside the handle, so I got to get some new ones, which they were new. But down here, right here, that's our power. We're supposed to have 12 volts here and 5 volts there. Let's see if I can get everything in frame. Yeah, we can go with that. All right, so this is my ground. Just use a screw. Here, we'll use one of the screws that hold the VGA connector in place. That's always a good ground. Yep, good ground. So here we should see 5, nothing. Here it should have 12, nothing. Every pin bad. That's actually good, because that means the main board is probably okay. It's probably in the power supply. So let's unsnap that. Let's put the keyboard out of the way. And this because we need to get down to the power supply. Let's move the meter out of the way. To get down to the power supply, let's see. We have that screw, that screw, that screw, and probably that, and then all those. Let's take those nuts out of the back first. I'm really hoping it's just the mains fuse. Definitely possible. And if not the mains fuse, then there might be a secondary side fuse, or maybe just the regulator. I also want to clean up this metal on the side here. It's a little bent. but it's not a bad projector. These are really handy because they have lots of inputs. No HDMI, but that's okay. Let's get that one. This one. I'm trying to keep an eye out so I can see who made it. Can't really tell. Looking for anything identifying manufacturer wise. Alright, so let's unplug the IR, temp fuse. Let's get all the new color wheel stuff unplugged. Color wheel sensor, blower fan, exhaust fan, door switch probably, and ballast control. There we go. Alright. That's just caught on the foam there. Alright, so the main board's out. There's the secondary power supply after the power comes in here. If we had power at these pins and not elsewhere, then I'd be looking in here. But I think the problem is down there. Set that main board out of the way. And there's the mains power supply right here. This looks like a Cortronic 7.5 dot. Usually I see 7 like something dot with the numbers when it's a Cortronic. Light on made the actual supply. And the capacitors look bloated. Nope. Looking at those capacitors down there, they look fine. Let's pop this out. That can stay. Let's see, this one. That one. Come on. There we are. Let's see if we can get this one out. There we are. There's probably, yep, there's one down there. Then, see, power factor correction needs to be unplugged. That's the power to the ballast. Actually, can I lift this out? What's that? That's weird. Yeah, we'll look at it. Let's get this all out. I guess I do have to take this. Unless it's caught. Let me see if this is caught. Nah. Let's just take that out. I think that metal piece is caught under the shielding. There's another one way down there. Back panel come off? Kind of. There we are. Here's our power supply. Ground is removed. I'm going to leave the door switch and power to the ballast plugged in for the moment. Let's bring the meter back. We'll go to continuity test. Good. Let's see, the fuse is right here. Is that the, yeah, that's the fuse. Let's see, that is here to here. Oops. That is here to here. So let's see if that fuse is any good. That's my guess, my first guess. Look at that. Nothing. Wide open. Let's see, let's see if that is the fuse. It sure looks like a fuse inside a heat shrink. Yep, that's a fuse. There's the fuse, right here. Just trying to get that heat shrink off it so we can see what it is. It's probably a 6.3 amp. Let's see if it's marked on the PCB. .3. See if you guys can see that. It's down on the board. Right there, 6.3, 250 volt. So that's got to be replaced. Let me go make sure I have one. Now that we're at the soldering iron, actually let me get that in the middle a little better. What we're going to do is take this new fuse. This is a 6.3 amp, 250 volt, like we need. And we are going to add leads to it. Now, what I'd like to do is I have a whole bunch of these old resistors with really thick leads on them. We're going to solder that on the end and solder a little one to the other end, and then we have a new inline soldered in fuse. You can buy these with the legs already attached, but I find it just as easy to put them together. The only thing you have to watch out for is that you don't heat the fuse too long and cause the internal wire to break loose. So what I do is I tin my resistor lead first, so it's all ready. Wipe that off. And then we're also going to tin the top of the fuse. We're going to do it quick, just a little bit, because we don't want to get too much heat in there. That's the other reason I'm using that crock clip, is to help draw the heat away from the insides. Then I'm going to get a little glob of solder on there, and then we'll put that on. There we go. And now that side's good. Pardon my arm. Flip it over. We're going to do the same thing on that side. Put the wire like that. So let's trim this other lead. This resistor I'm using is probably from the late 60s, early 70s maybe. I'm guessing, going by the construction and the way the logo looks. See, All Might. It's a 400 ohm, but it's going to be trash after this, which is fine. I got tons of them. So again, just a little tin on there just to get it ready, and then let's get a little more solder on there. There we are. I like that. Looks good. Let's just cut that off, and that goes in the trash. Now we have an inline resistor that we can put in. This lead will end up going like that, and then might as well just get that one ready, because that's how it's going to go. Let's There we are. Now we're ready. I'll put some shrink tubing over it too before I put it in. And we're back. Here is the prepared fuse. You can see I put a second piece of heat shrink over it, and then I pinched the top while it was hot, so it's all sealed up. So once that's in there, it'll be protected. So now, let's slide that over. This whole thing has to come out. Let's unplug our, whatever that is, door switch probably. That's probably a speaker. And then the power to the ballast. Let's see if I can get that in there. There we are. Here's the power supply. So we are going to desolder those two right there. Here we go. We're going to desolder that right there. Hit it with the flux pen. Let's get that. Just a little bit of flux. Don't need much. And then a little pump. It's actually not too bad. For this kind of stuff, it works pretty well. I have an actual, desoldering setup at home, which works even better. Come on, iron. Iron's still warming up. So I should have turned the iron on before I started the camera. What I'm doing here is I'm using some solder to just kind of wet the connection and get the heat flowing, because that fuse is going to sink a lot of the heat because there's a lot of metal. Yeah, you can see it didn't quite all pull through. That's better. Let's just make sure that stays loose. I'll probably have to hit it again. That's okay though. And then this. Better. I'm gonna have to pull on it though, I think. Let's see if I can just work that out by hand. Yep, that'll work. All right, so this side, come on, there we are. There we are. There's the old fuse. Do I have to? I might have to clear those holes. The one hole looks okay, but not this one. Let me just. Much better. All right. So the holes are clear. And we will now put Mr. New Fuse in. Did I? It should fit. Is that not clear? Yeah, it's all right. There we are. Just didn't have the legs spread to where they would fit happily. And we'll put that capacitor back up. That's in place. All right. It's good too. I like it. trim these guys, and then we will go back to the other bench, and I'm going to just check a couple points in this to make sure nothing else is shorted. I'm going to make sure this still measures properly. We are also going to check, let's see, let's check, where is it? This one. That chip right here. We'll check a couple of these diodes and just make sure nothing else got shorted out, but I'm pretty sure that was our only problem. So, meet you in a moment. And we're back. I was just kind of looking at the metal on this side here. It's kind of wonky, so I think we will address that as well. This whole piece needs a little attention. We have a broken screw anywhere? No, but we do have one to remove right there. But we'll deal with that after we make sure the power supply is okay. There's our meter. Let's go to Diode Test. We're going to check here. No short, no short, no short, no short, no short. So here I'm going positive to AC and AC. Then negative to AC and AC, we should get nothing. Flipping the leads over. Here, let me zoom you guys in a little more actually so you can see. So we're checking the bridge rectifier. The full wave bridge rectifier. Anybody who knows where that's from gets 2 points. So the bridge rectifiers for diodes, you know, in a triangle or a square. Diamond shape if you turn it. So from positive to negative, or positive to AC, with the negative lead we should see the diode. There's one diode, there's the other diode, and then if we go from negative to AC, we should see the same thing. Tells us the bridge is okay. And here we have a Schottky diode. Can't see which way it's set up, but it looks like this way, so that's good. If we see that on any of these, it's bad. And we have a big old MOSFET here. Yeah, that's good too. And we have another one. I'm just checking for shorts. That's what we're concerned about. No shorts there. Then that last chip here, is this a diode? Yep. So this is another Schottky diode. So we should have, yep, backwards. There we are. So that Schottky diode's good. And then let's see the driver for the coil. That's this guy. So that's good too. So yeah, this should be fine. We will plug it back in momentarily. But first, before I put it back in, I want to look at that metal. So let's set the power supply off to the side. Let's see here. See, it's like, it's a little bent. There's little metal tabs that hold it. And it looks like they're not quite in place. So let's pop this whole side off and make sure that's okay. It's got a little damage here, but that's fine. It's not a big deal. We can still use the screw. One of them was broken, I see. So there was a second one. Wonder if I can glue that back on. Honestly, once I get the metal in place, it should be fine. This, oh, I see. This went here, right there. I might be able to glue that back on. Let's see. Problem is my hands are all shaky from carpal tunnel, so it makes it a little difficult to hold this stuff in position while it sets up. So let's see, a little bit of CA glue. Let's get our plastic bit. Maybe I can just push. Just put my finger on top. I can feel it sitting in the right spot. Just don't want it to lean too far. That'll probably work. I'm going to leave that and let that dry out, and then we'll put it back in later. Let's look at the metal. Yeah, you see these? Those are supposed to lock into the top of that. Let's see if I can straighten this. See, we got like a squish here. I'll try and push that back. I mean, this stuff is just shielding. It's not, you know, mission critical or anything like that. But I figure while it's here, I'm going to make it better, make it all the way better, you know. Let's get that, open that up a little bit. All right. So the next thing I got to look at before we put the power supply in is the light tunnel. Pardon me. The light tunnel needs to be adjusted. Let's see what else we have going on. Let's see, did we lose the focus? A little bit. Oh yeah, we lost a little focus screw there, but that's all right. Can deal with that too. Suspect they didn't know about pulling the front off. You never know if it pulls or twists or what the deal is unless you have a service manual. I always suggest a service manual if you can find one, but let's be realistic. Service manuals are not a common thing to find. Let's see, almost with this one still. It feels like it's up all the way. Come on, you can do it. Oh, not if I don't take the other screw out, it won't. Down there, it's the last one. There's 4. Yep. There we are. That's what I want to do. Let's just take a look at everything. Hey, nice job on the color wheel, projector owner. I assume you're watching this. That was a good install. Looks good. And DMD, looks like you put that on nicely too. So, more good job. So for safety's sake, we're going to remove the color wheel, put that out of the way so I don't break it, because I need to look at the light tunnel. The light tunnel had shifted at some point, and I don't think it was able to get back into position as well as was hoped. So let's get this out of the way. Let me set this back on a separate piece of foam. Put the other screw with it. And then we're going to get to that light tunnel. Right here. Make sure I'm keeping that in frame. So these springs, that one, that one, that one, that one, all push back against these screws. So what I'm actually going to do is take these screws out all the way, because we're going to start over. I think the owner was actually pretty close on aligning this, but that was where they ran into the problem with the electricity with the power. So I figure, just to make sure everything's right, I'm going to start over and just kind of, you know, do everything from scratch so that there's no don't have to go back and redo anything because I assumed something was okay when it wasn't. Because we know how assuming works, right? Ooh. Long screws. Okay, that's a little too close, at least for what I'm showing now. Let's back out a little bit, because I have to move around a little. I don't want to block your view. Then this screw comes out last. This actually holds the little heat shroud, heat shield on the front. This thingy that's fallen off. This guy. Let's get that off first. Then we'll take the spring assembly off. I just want to look at this guy before I throw it on the ground. Let's see here. Make sure everything's good. Make sure none of those segments slipped. They didn't. They're all nice and even. I think this may have been backwards, because I think it's supposed to go. Let's see, do we have any? We do have screw marks, that's good. Screw mark there. Then screw mark there. So that means it was this way. Does that correspond with our springs? Yeah, because that spring pushes on that tab. Yeah, alright. So the other thing we're going to do is give these springs just a little bend. You want to make the springs just push back a tiny bit more. These are pretty good, but I just want to give them a little bit more so that when we put the adjustment screws in, we have plenty of pushback, whatever we want to call that. Don't know what the proper term would be, but I want the stress, the effort, to be on the light tunnel itself. Come on, let's move it up. There we are. You see? Right here. Ooh, come on, focus. That little tab that pushes on. There's here. Let me take the spring assembly out. Hope I'm not getting into too much minutia. All right, you see that little tab right there? That's what the spring pushes against. That helps hold the light tunnel where you need it to be. Just make sure. Yeah. And then we just line up with our notches. Come on. Oops, it slipped. So the first screw I will put in, I'm going to put in the first screw that will hold this metal bit in place. That's good. The other way, the other way we can tell that the light tunnel is facing the right way is that the edge here has no metal tabs wrapping over it. The metal tabs that hold the frame together on that light tunnel always go on the far end, on this end. So let's put this one in. That's good. Let's put the end protector, the heat shield for the end. That keeps the light from going into the tunnel and causing problems. There we are. That's in. Actually, there was no Loctite on that one. I'm going to save that screw to use for the light tunnel adjustment. I noticed there's another screw without Loctite, or this one? This one. So we have two without Loctite. Those are probably the adjusters. The screws that go inside have some blue Loctite on the threads, so that's going to be the ones that you don't want to move. The adjustment screws you do want to move until you have them in position, and then you can, put a little bit of glue on them or something to hold them in place. That's what we're going for, though. That's what we want it to look like. You can see that top through there; it's nice and straight. That's good. What we will possibly try, a lot of times I can kind of get a general idea by shining a flashlight in. I can even just kind of see it. It's got to come down and over a little bit. So let's put this one in until I feel it stop. That's on the light tunnel. Then, oops, come here, you. Come here, buddy. Let's go. Get this one in. Ah! It's on a weird angle, and there's like a little bit of Loctite, old Loctite on there. Here we are. Let's get that one. Alright, so watch. It goes down. And it goes up. So that's what you're adjusting when you're tightening that screw. I'm getting it close. I want it to be in the center of this lens as much as possible. It's kind of hard to eye, but let's see if we can see it move this way. Alright, I think that's probably a good place to try. Once it's inside, adjusting that back one's a real pain. See, that spring is not pushing back enough. Get a little more twist on it. So I'm going to try it with this. There we go. The color wheel's back on. Let's bring that chassis over. Set the optical unit back in. Although I kind of want to look at the focus feller. The broken focus feller, that thing. See if I can find a little screw that'll go in there. Gotta love keeping parts around. So I had an old lens assembly from another projector, and it had this little plastic grommet washer spacer thing. And then I have a whole collection of screws, of course, and I test fit this one to make sure it would thread in happily, and it does. So what we are going to do is put the screw in here. Hopefully that will thread through enough. It looks like it will. Oops, there's a throat on the ground. Might have to trim it, but we'll see. I'm hoping it's going to be long enough to do what I want. Because then, yeah, I might have to trim it. It's a little long, the nub. Because the goal is to get it to stay in here, which it's not going to do because it's not enough thread sticking out, so that when this slides on, that goes in between there. So let's pop that out. There we go. Let's get that screw out. And then we're just going to make this just a tiny bit shorter. Let's see if I can hold it. I was hoping that would be a smoother cut, but that'll be okay. It's not like we have to look at it. It is literally just there to act as a spacer so that the focus ring can do its job. So let's get that back in there, bottom it out on the plastic, which we did. It looks good. I love gloves for protecting me from grossness, but they make it a little hard to handle stuff sometimes. A little hard to handle now. There we are. See? So that when this goes over, now the other thing you could do is, if you still have the piece, you could screw it into one of the other holes and then just have this offset, but you know, now it's more like it should be. So that's good. So this is all in good shape. Let's see, do I want to put, I'm going to put the power supply in first. I was thinking about maybe we should put the optic thing in, but nah, let's get my screws. We'll get our main ground screw ready. That's this. Let's push that out of the way. Good, that's good, that's good. So those are down. Let's get our screws that hold the power supply in. Yeah, we're going to definitely put the power supply in first. That makes this a lot easier. In fact, what I think what we'll do too is I will plug it in and we'll make sure we have power, because we can do that. The door will be in place. We can see if we have power on here and power here. Maybe not here, but definitely here. Oops. All right, then the small screws that Go over here. This one. Think of full-sized on this corner. Yep. Okay, that's all the screws for the power supply. So now let's get these wires plugged in. Again, this is power to the ballast, and then let's plug that door switch in first and get a good grip. Oops, sorry. See that one? Yep, that's good. And then this one. Now this usually only has 150 volts on it until you press power, and then it'll shoot up to 380 like it should be. But let's see, we're gonna plug this in first, but we're gonna use my ballast thing. I'll see if I can get that into the picture in a moment. Let's see. There we are. Off. Now if there's a short, this will glow bright. If there's no short, it should just do a quick little nothing. Even better. That's what I want to see. Because it's not drawing any power right now. Alright, so let's see, that should be a good ground. Let's see if I can. It's going to be hard to. Hard to get in there. Let's see, that's ground. Yeah, I think we got standby. Let me see if I can find power anywhere else. Let's see what we got here. Nothing. I hope that little chip down there didn't go. That would suck. Let's see. No. Hey, 5 volts. All right. There's something happening. That's all I wanted to know. Something was happening. So now I'll move this out of the way and we'll hook that main board back up. Put the optic block in and see what we get. Mostly I wanted to make sure that fuse didn't pop again. I don't believe it did. So now we can set this back in. Make sure that's not going to be in the way. Let's see. Come on. There we go. Back down. I like that. short ones. Where'd these guys come out of? Here? I'll bet they came out of here. Yep. I thought that was a little long. That's what I was trying to have not happen. It's alright though. Yeah, these longer short guys go here. Let's see what I got. That one. Come on. There we are. That one. Yeah, that's much better. So let's get this one back out. They do need to go in the right space, or the optic module will fall out or not be even and not give a good picture. There's that. And let's put this back there. All right, one more. It's this guy, which goes here. There we are. Yeah, that looks good. All right, those are in, that's in. I'm happy with that. This will help to keep things cool. Just making sure there's no other screws I have to worry about. I don't think so. I think we're ready to put the main board in and see if we get anything, or if there's more. Let's see, let's plug this in. There we are. And that's it for underneath. Everything else goes on top and side. So let's set that in place. Just kind of push all these other wires back so I don't get them caught. Then let's get these in, and then we can plug the DMD board in right there. Good. And we'll go from this side. Ballast control speaker, probably. Maybe a temp sensor. Fan 1, that's the exhaust fan. Fan 2 goes here, that's the blower fan. Green wire is front IR for the remote control. Come on. This is the thermal fuse. Thermal breaker, rather. That will reset itself. It's not a one-time use thing. Color wheel sensor. And then last, but most certainly not least, the actual color wheel. I'm going to peel this tape off for now while I get everything settled. Let's plug this back in. Blue side up. There we are. Oh crap, missed it. I'll do it from this side. Just thought it might look better from the other angle, but nope. Come on. There we are. We'll just leave that up in the air for now. That's okay. Now I'm going to put one screw in over here, just to keep everything from popping loose. All right, I like that. Now let's get our keyboard. Just gonna lay that there for the moment. Get that wire underneath. All right, that's good. That'll be fine. All right, fingers crossed we don't let any smoke out. Let's plug the power in, and then I'm gonna go hit the switch, and we'll see if it pops or if we get a standby light. Hey! Look at that. All right, good sign, good sign. Let's see, the next thing I'm going to do is figure out how bad the light tunnel is out of aim. So I shouldn't have to go in here anymore. So I'm gonna put a few of these other screws back in so that we can kind of slightly reassemble it. There's that one. This one, come on, there we are. So what I'm thinking I might be able to do, let's see, that way. Now I'll probably, yeah, we'll just use needle nose. That's just what we're going to have to do. I have a flexi end screwdriver thingy, but I don't think it'll be flexi enough for this. So let's get power. And let's see if it fires up. That's actually a good test. If the valve's shorted, that'll be a problem. Yeah, looks good. We have lamp. I see Dell. And that's just the light tunnel adjustment. Which one? First, let's play with the focus. Yep, focus is good. I hope those lines might be the light tunnel. Let's see here. Let's go to this one. Oh, that's that. That's good. I don't know what those lines are. That's a little weird. It's all right though. Let's see. So I'm tightening it now, and that's pushing. Try a smaller one. No, I'm not going to grab it. Hoping, let me see, can I dim this? Let's see, that way. Yeah, all right. So I am turning this clockwise, and it's making the light tunnel move. So I'm tightening it clockwise, basically, and it's pushing that tunnel in a position. It's just little movements. All right, and don't pay attention to the rolling screen. That's the sync rate with the camera and the DLP refresh rate. So I am tightening that screw, as you can see, and it's moving. It's almost out. A little more. It's so close. Like I'm turning it just a human hair width at a time. There we are. I don't like those lines though. That's weird. I don't know if that's normal. Let's see. Let's go to menu. No, it's not menu. Where's menu? Yeah, let's go a little more. Yeah, there we go. Those lines on the bottom are kind of weird. I don't know where that's coming from. But the squareness of the picture is good. I don't know what those lines are or if they're going to be there, you know, otherwise. Searching for a signal. So I guess I need a signal to adjust all this, and that's okay. Let me set up a signal. Alright, so I set up a test source. It's the auto adjustment in progress. Huh. It kind of looks like the wrong index setting on the color wheel. It's close, but the colors are definitely off. I'm going to see if I can find the service manual. If not, I'm going to see if we can confirm the index mark location. Here's the old wheel. And let's see, and the index mark is on the blue segment on the edge. So that's where this one should be. Let's turn that off, and then we'll see. Alright, so there's the color wheel. Yeah, it's done spinning. Let's see, I don't see the index mark there. I don't want to touch it with my finger. Ah, it looks like it's by the blue segment. I think that's blue. Yeah. Let's see here. Let's get that light behind it. Yeah, it's on the blue segment. But that color was off. It was way off. Let's see how this looks. That looks okay. But that's weird. That picture was way off. See if we can fix it a little bit too. Looks like quite a few of these were taken out. No problem. How can that be broken? Because that sure looks like this. Let's see, we have... Unplug this. Let's see, that's the old wheel. So it was blue, red, yellow, green, cyan. So inside... Let's see, we have blue, red, yellow, green, and cyan. Okay, they're right. That's right. So why did the picture look like that? Why did the picture look like that? Well, let's tape this back down so it's not in the way, and I think I'm going to fix the old wheel here. I'm going to pop that in, just see if that makes any difference. Alright, so we're going to see if maybe cleaning the connection between the DMD board and the main board will get rid of those lines on this Dell. So I have removed the screws that hold it in and the screws from the back, and then we're going to unplug the low voltage wire, and we're actually just going to flip that over, because this is what I'm suspicious of. You can even kind of see it in the picture. the contacts, like, I know they're reflecting some of this stuff, but they don't look evenly shiny to me. So I do wonder if we were getting a bad connection maybe between the DMD and that socket, and that's why that picture looked funny with the lines. So you can get the good stuff, the gold G5. Actually got to get some more soon. This can's almost empty. In fact, it's just about empty. All right, we got it on there. Yep, that looks good. Pardon me. Then I'm just gonna wipe it off the board. It's actually okay to leave on the board. It's non-corrosive, non-conductive. It just cleans and helps the connections work better. One thing I found is that it likes to puddle up inside, like gets in here. Not quite sure. Maybe it must be coming out of here. That little gap in between the straw connection. Yeah, I think that's empty. That'll do it. I'm going to save the top because this will go on other things, and I sometimes break these. So we'll save the top, but this can is about 2 years old. I just used it all. And I still have a can of the R5, the red. And I have a can of Fader spray too from them somewhere. I haven't used that in a while though. But let's plug the board back in. That fan connector over here so it's not getting stuck. Plug the power supply back in. All right. And that just plugs in. We're just going to get it over top and set it on down. And then, where's something I can, just need a little screwdriver to get that fan wire back up. There we go. Looks good, looks good. Looks good. All right, that's in. I'm gonna put one screw in the corner just to keep the board from lifting up while we're testing it. I don't want that connection to pop loose. See, do I want to take that out? Yeah, I don't want to tear that tape off. Stuff's hard to replace. It's not, you can get away without it, but you know. All right, so that sets there. Let's get a power cord. Alright, and we'll turn it on once it boots up. Oh, there it is, okay. I was going to say, it's awfully quiet. There's the fan. There's our picture. Oh, you guys can't see the picture. It still has those lines on the bottom. But the rest of the picture is much better than it was. Before, the picture was kind of scratchy, but these lines, I don't know what that's about. That's weird. Let's get a picture on it. Get a signal. Let's see. VGA-A. Let's use that. And do I have? Yep, I got that thing on. Let me see if I can get something playing here. Adjustment in progress. Yeah, it's not happy about something. It's got that like solarization going on. Something else got hit in here. Make sure I got the right input. Should probably, yeah, you see it's all this, it's like solarized. What are we not getting here? It's like very bright. There's too much white almost. Did we put the old, I don't think I put the old wheel back in yet. Let's turn it off. I think I might put the old wheel back in and see what happens. Alright, now we're back at the projector. It is still cooling off, but I'm going to pop that loose. Oh, it's done. And get the power cord out. Because the only thing I can really think of is that we either have an electrical issue, something shorted out and damaged one of the processing chips, or possibly, ever so possibly, the color wheel that was installed is not working properly or is not correct. So what I want to do, I hope this works out easily, is I want to put the original color wheel back in that I repaired. I put the, I resoldered the wire to it. The wire had torn off. Pardon me. So I resoldered it. And then coated it with super glue, CA glue. So this color wheel, I would say looks fine. Looks just like the old one. But I don't know why we would get that weird video effect where everything's all, you know, it's too bright. You know, thinking about it, I did not check the I did not check the menu to see if it was, maybe had its image settings wrong, so maybe I should have done that first. Oh well. Let's just switch the color wheels back. Let's put the old one back in. It just bugs me. I got the power supply repaired. The light tunnel, we got all that back into position. And the owner of this projector is really nice, and I really want to help them because they got so far, and it's so frustrating when you go to repair something and you get super far and then something happens, you know, and then it kind of ruins the chance of the repair. Alright, lights coming on. Still have the lines. picture's all weird, all digitally weird. But I saw it normal for a split second. Oh. I think they got the wrong DMD. You see how the image is cut off? Oh, no you don't. You didn't see anything. Good gravy, Frank. What are you doing? Okay, so here's the... Okay, so here's the picture. The DMD is clearly cut off. Okay. See that? We had a good picture for a moment. Why do I not see anything? See, I can't see anything. We don't have any menu. Back. Let's see. What's this one? Source. Okay. So here's the chip that came out, 10766318, but whatever's in here is a different resolution. It's got the whole picture shifted down, unless that's a setting in the projector, which I guess is also possible. Oh, look at that, it moved up a little. This one? Maybe the DMD is right, and it's just the settings are all over the place. It's so close. Come on, give me the frickin' menu. Just signal off it. I'm just gonna look for the menu. Searching for signal. Let's try a different input. Let's try the other VGA input and see if that makes any difference. Probably not. It's probably this chip up here. Oh. So input 1 looks okay, even though the picture's not quite straight. Auto adjustment in progress. So VGA-A is not good. VGA-B is not bad. It's actually not bad. And I'm back on this Dell 1409. Hopefully we'll see a resolution at this point. Not quite sure how I edited this video, if it's 2 parts, 1 part, 3 parts, half a part, not sure yet because we're still recording it. But more importantly, we have some parts and hopefully we can finish this. I need to disconnect that, take that keyboard off, because I was thinking about replacing this IC here because I think that's the one that went bad or is going bad. Might be that one too. I was going to try some resoldering. This chip's not too bad. These two are both VGA ball gap arrays, and VGAs are a real pain in the butt. So I did some research, looking around. I do have old main boards I can pull those chips out of if I wanted to, but instead I just got a replacement main board. It was very inexpensive, well worth the price. And I got it from this seller right here on eBay. Hopefully saying it right, Voltaria or Voltaria. Either way, this guy sells out of Florida. I've always had a great experience with him. He's not sponsored. I paid for this. He doesn't even know I'm talking about it on YouTube right now, but if you're in the States and you need projector parts, or if you need lamps too, feel free to hit this guy up. Parts, definitely. I'm not quite sure what he's doing with lamps, honestly, but customer service-wise, he's always been really good. The prices have always been very reasonable, and the one time I did have an issue, he took care of it without blinking an eye. So, you know, free plug to Volt Area on eBay for projector parts. Commercial's over. Let's get back to this. Now, there are some there's one slight difference. The firmware is slightly different. This is using version 20R005-0051, and the original is using MOR001 1.3.4 D4EA, whatever that means. I'm assuming that's an older version. But it doesn't matter because this is the one that's going in. So to replace it, pretty straightforward. We're going to unplug the ballast here. If I can get that little clip pushed down. There you go, that fan's unplugged. That fan, IR, color wheel sensor, thermal switch, color wheel. Then we have a screw to take out. So now this should really just pop out, and then we will disconnect the low voltage. Now you guys will probably remember, because you're watching this video the first time, I don't remember if everything that I repaired at the moment. I'm gonna have to learn this all when I review and I edit. I do see that I replaced the fuse, and that MOV or that thermistor's okay. Let's plug the power in, low voltage, and we'll line the board up. Get all of our wires there we go. I like how this was, the connectors were all color coded. That makes it nice. Now, if you guys remember the issue we were looking at before I got this board, is the video would not always synchronize. Like, it would get part of the picture and it wouldn't scale it right. Then I tried the other VGA input and it was better. So I suspect when one of those video processing ICs was damaged. This connector here was the first one I used that showed the problem. So that's the one we will check against. Oh, and I got one more fan to plug in. Oh, no I don't. They don't use that fan. I hope that's not a problem. 1409X. 1409X. See? And what I'm worried about is that we're going to get a complaint. Well, we'll find out. If we do, I can trick it. I'll just jump another fan over there. Well, you'll see. But we got that in, that in. Let's get some power to it. Oh, no. Let's get the keyboard connected, and then we'll get some power to it. Let's get that keyboard wire in there. And then I also want to tape this color wheel wire down. There we go. Okay. Let's get this just set that here. There we are. Got standby, that's good. We got lights, that's good. Play on the DVD player. There it goes. All right, we have lights, we have color wheel. Let's get you guys so you can see the picture. And there's the picture. I think the color might be off a little. Looks like we might have an index issue. But this is a really bad, this is a bad source to use. This video's too dark. I actually think the picture is probably fine. I think that video might be fine. It's just, it's not a good picture or a good video feed to use. Oh, we see something down there. Wonder if that's on the DMD board itself or not. But let's check the other video input now. This is a good sign. Yeah, look at that. And if you guys can see that, we still have these artifact lines down there. Yep. There we go. Although we're getting some of that stuff still. Let's go to menu. No, it's not menu. Not getting any response from either of those. Let's go back to here and see if we get... Oh, unless... I wonder if this DMD is the wrong resolution. That might be why, because the menu is at the bottom, and we're not seeing that. So let's turn it off, because see how it doesn't... how it's not quite centered? Like the Dell should be over a little bit. Now that we know the main board's good, that's a good sign. This main board did come on, it just had some weird video things, and I kind of think the problem might be, now that I'm a little more familiar with things, that AD chip, that analog devices chip. Hey, let's pull this optic module out. I want to take a real good look at that. Make sure the DMD that's installed is correct. Down there. Almost forgot that one. Everything on the surface looks okay. I know I had this out when I looked at the light tunnel, but I did not look at the rest of it. Is that... No, that color wheel's safe. I don't need the foam. Let's lean it on the face. Pop that heat sink off. Ooh. Yeah, we'll clean that up a little. It's a little too much. Heatsink paste. 1409X Not bad. Let me get the original. And there's the old one. The part numbers are different. This is a 10766318W, and this is a 8066318W. 1076 and 638. I don't honestly know if that makes any difference. They're both 6318. The resolution, I'm trying to see if those, it looks like it's about the same size. So those are the same size, but why is it not showing the whole picture? Let's pop it out here. See if there's any bent pins. No. That old heatsink crap off. All right. And we're going to put a little bit of fresh heatsink paste on there. Just a little bit. Little dab will do you. You need a thin, the goal is a thin coating. You want that metal of the heatsink to essentially be touching. You know, you want those together. So the reason you just put a little bit on is so that it will squish out, and then everything will be protected or coupled, you know, thermally. So this goes here. See, we just want a little bit, just enough. If there's too much heatsink compound, it'll actually hold the pieces apart, and then the heat will not move, will not transfer. Looks good, even at least. One more screw in the corner here to keep this all seated happily. Let's see if anything I did made any difference whatsoever to the picture. Just weird the way that picture is. a picture, and I still see those weird lines at the bottom. Yeah, see, there's something cutting off on the bottom. I wonder if it's the picture. Yeah, see, I'm starting to think that this is not the right DMD, that even though it's a 6318, that other one is just not right for some reason. I'm going to look around and see what I have. Dug through my parts, and I found a used but good 1076 6329W. The original is a 1076 6318W. Now, looking online, I see a bunch of people selling them as compatible. So I am going to have a little confirmation bias, I guess, that that DMD in that bag there is more appropriate than the one that's in there. At the least, we'll get to see if it acts any differently. So what I'm gonna do, what I am doing, is I'm gonna take all this out. The color wheel, I'm gonna disconnect. Let's see that. Okay, so I put that other chip in. This is the one I took out. That's the original, which is ruined. So let's see. Hopefully it turns on. All right. We have light. Let's see if we have a picture. Hey, look at that. We can actually see it. I'll be damned. And it's in the center, where it should be. Let's see what the picture... Oh, hit play. So the lines was the DMD. There's the menu. Let's see, I want to do a full reset. Ah, come on. Adjustment in progress. Da 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 da. Why is it doing that? VGA-A. Mm, 271 hours on that lamp. It's back. I want to do a full reset. Where is it? There we are. Factory reset. Enter. There we are. Wow. Now it's going to auto adjust. I have to be patient because this is an older projector, so it's got to sync with the picture. It's not as fast as the old ones. There we are. Now we have full screen with the picture. I wish it was daytime. I got to really make a new video. I always say this to people, and yeah, but that's all right. This is good. Let's do a test pattern. Look at that. Nice, pretty picture. You guys see it rolling, but it's not. Let me see if I can get it to, let's see if I do that with my finger, you can kind of see it. But it's red, green, blue, nice pattern. Focus is good. This thing's happy. This thing is really happy now. The next thing we're going to do is turn it off, and then we're going to reassemble it. Let's put the new color wheel in. Actually, this is the one I repaired, which works, it's fine, but the owner of the projector bought a new color wheel, and they do wear out. The motors do go bad, and this color wheel is the original one, so that means, you know, it could have old color wheel problems. So let me get, here's the new one. Set that here. Let me just switch these brackets over. The way I'm going to do that, you just loosen all these. Then we'll put that wheel in place of it. And we'll tighten them back up. Let's see. Right. Okay, so let's put the old one in there. It's a good spare. We'll put new tape on it. Plug that in. It's going to go under there. We got a couple more screws to put back in the top. So let me get the let me get my tape. Alright, that and that. Let's get the rest of our internal screws. We got that one. And let's see, the rest of these come up through the bottom. And of course I got sidetracked, so I had to take my camera down, my phone, and move everything. Let's zoom you guys in a little more. So that's on. Let's just give it a little squeeze and pop those clips in. Now we need to reinstall this. I was hoping fix all those little metal things because they're kind of tough to get to. I'm just going to try and straighten it all, but I don't think... There we go. And then I have two screws to drop in there. These little, oh, you guys can't see that. These little fine thread, I think they're 2 or 2.5 millimeter, M2.5. There we go, there's one. Just trying to get these little, trying to get all those tabs straight so that we put the other side on, it latches down properly. That seems to be good. So, and that's okay. Good. Then you get that right there. Good. Got that one right there. Alright, that is all of the external screws. Now, just have these guys on the back. Those 5 millimeter. Let's see if I can do it entirely with the nut driver. Sometimes this sits in too far, and then when you go to tighten it in, it's not quite long enough to grab the threads, but in this case we're fine. I'll tell you what though, the owner of this, I hope they will be very excited. I think they will be, because they got so close, and being that they ended up with the wrong DMD was not their fault. I am going to blame that on whoever sold it to them. What I am going to do in my case is see if they want to just trade. If they can return this DMD, then I'll send it back to them and they can try and return it. I will, I put a DMD in that works. It's used, and the one they bought, this is allegedly new, but I'm skeptical personally. So I'm kind of thinking that maybe I'll just offer, or maybe they should send it back, and if not, I'll just offer to trade them and I'll keep it and then see if I can use it in something. And if I can't, then it's on me. I didn't pay anything for the other DMD, so I feel kind of bad charging them. Alright, so here's everything that was worked on. The original color wheel, the wire had snapped off, so I resoldered the wire. I stripped that. It doesn't look beautiful, but it actually works quite well. And then I put a little bit of super glue over it to kind of lock it in place. I should probably put some of that black tape on it too, but we're going to save this. This is a spare. It's the old one. This is the original DMD module with the DLP chip inside. You can see the pixel damage, the pixel burn-in. I think it showed the weather at one point. I think it said tiempo, which I'm pretty sure is Spanish for weather. So that's no good. Then this DMD was put in a 8060-6318W when it needed a 1076-6318W. Now I happen to have a 1076-6338W, 329W, different one, but the 1076 was the same, and that's what's in there now and what's working. Then we had problems with the video looking correct. So I traced it back to either a problem here, here, or maybe here. So for literally 25 bucks with shipping, I was able to get a replacement main board. So I'll save this one. It'll be good for testing at least sometimes if I need to, but this will never be used in repair. That's why it has that X on it, so I know. And there we go. Here is a fireplace scene. Here we go, get that a little more centered. And the picture's great. It's only 1024 by 768, 720p roughly. But, the colors are nice. It's, everything's steady. The projector's quiet. There's no weird noises. All the inputs are working right. Been running this for about a half hour now, and it's been nice and stable. So this was an interesting one. It came into me dead. It suffered from a short circuit, and it had a few other issues, but we got it all patched back together, and it's running well, and I'm pretty sure the owner's gonna love it. So I'm gonna let it run some more, and then I'll shut it down, wipe it down, and get it all packed up. So if you have any questions about your Dell projector, whether it's a 1409X like this one or any one of the others, feel free to put some questions down in the comment section. And if you need a lamp for this particular projector, just check in the description. I have all the extra info in there. And I also have a link to a source for the main board and other projector parts here in the US. So if you want to contact Volt Area, who I bought that board from, again, not sponsored. They didn't give that to me. I paid for it. I just think they're a good service. So as always, thank you for watching.